All right, how's everyone doing? I'm Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. So what I want to get into today is, are you addicted to supplements? So I'm actually sitting in front of my gym, LA Fitness, and behind me is the GNC. And this wasn't just made to, pull a dig on GNC. I think GNC is a great company. I just want to use them for example, because I know for the most part, when a lot of people think of supplements or buying a lot of different things, vitamins, a lot of people come to GNC. So I just thought I would do the video in front of here because it's local. But what I want to get into today is kind of what I went through when I was younger, my late teens and early 20s, because I think to a certain degree, as I look back at it now, I think I kind of became addicted to supplements. And I think becoming addicted to supplements is just, I'm not going to say it's as common as being addicted to drugs or alcohol or even gambling or things in that nature, but it definitely fits in that category because I think a lot of people don't realize, one, how much money they're spending on it. I just did a video on how fitness can make you broke, and one of the things I discuss in there is a lot of people spending a lot of money on supplements, vitamins, things in that nature. So I'm going to go back now to when I was like 135 pounds in my late teens, and all of a sudden I had a huge, I guess you could call it, growth spurt, and I jumped up to 220 pounds. And in between that time, I started to take a lot of gainers drinks. I also was taking things like natural steroid complex. I was taking animal packs and things in that nature. And I think, like a lot of people, when I started to get very serious about working out, I started to take a lot of supplements. And a lot of times I think what happens is, just because you started working out, that in general is going to change you entirely. You may be working out differently, much more intense, eating more, just looking after your health differently. And a lot of times we throw supplements into there. And by throwing supplements into this, it almost becomes also like a placebo effect. But in my case, like I said, I went from like 135 pounds to 210, 20 pounds. And even my friends were like, do you think that's the shit doing it? But what I wasn't really paying attention to regarding me taking supplements was me starting to take all different style supplements, maybe too many supplements, also mingling different supplements that may or may not be working for me. And, I just think a lot of times when people start taking supplements, at the beginning, they may be kind of, taking a certain amount, watching what they're doing. But before you know it, it becomes overload central. Especially, I think, when you want to get more intense and when you start seeing certain type of results, especially if you want to get bigger, stronger, maybe even faster, you want to start, I guess you could say, uptaking a lot more than what you did previously. And you can see this with steroids, or you could see this with anything in life. You want to start seeing results and you want to see them quicker. And I think a lot of times when people think of taking supplements, that's part of what they do. But what happened to me was, as time was going on, I started, and I've discussed this in my other videos, I started to spit up blood. I have no idea why. I went to the dentist, thought it was my gums, went to the doctors, they said everything was fine. The only thing I really changed was, I realized, was my supplements, my intake, what I was, now trying or experimenting with. And I finally just had to say, I have to make a decision here. So I just said, I'm going to start leaning off these supplements. I want to just experiment to see, is this really the reason I'm getting, a lot of the results I'm getting? I realized things weren't changing that much. It really came down to my food. And truthfully, I felt so much better when I started to lean off supplements. Reason being is, I think for me, I was eating a lot of food, and I realized, taking a lot of supplements or even meal replacement supplements or whatever the case may be, they were starting to upset my stomach a lot more than I thought. They were upsetting my sleep. I'd have these spikes where I felt really high and then very low. And once I leaned off everything, which was really in my early 20s, and to this day, I really take no supplements at all. I will get smoothies, throw in a whey protein. But truthfully, if you think sometimes that a supplement is the reason that you're getting the results you are, that may be true. But you also have to realize that it may not either, okay? And you also have to look at taking certain types of supplements for long periods of time. What is that truly doing to your body? Because I think a lot of times when we talk about supplements, we don't really know, what the effects are going to be, no matter what somebody else says or does, because a lot of stuff that comes out, it's new. So really pay attention to that, and I discuss this all the time. We all have different bodies. Our bodies react differently to everything. You have to realize too, sometimes maybe supplements just are not for you. Maybe they are for you. Maybe certain brands work better for you. Whatever the case may be, you have to study that. So I just thought I would do a quick video on this, but please pay attention to this. Oh, it's starting to rain. If you get a chance, you might want to check out my podcast, The Rich Celenza Show, WTF are you talking about? I've been having a lot of nutritional and fitness experts on there, and this comes up a lot regarding supplements and what people are doing correctly and incorrectly. And here's the last thing. I am not here to dig on supplements. If they work for you, God bless. Just pay attention that one, you don't go broke using them. Two, that truthfully, you're kind of not addicted to them. And three is you're doing things correctly. Please pay attention to that. I think a lot of people, they may read something or get referred something by someone, and they're just kind of being bullshitted, especially, and I don't mean not this store, whatever store you go into. A lot of times they're salespeople. They want to sell you the newest and greatest things. They need to make sales like everybody else. So don't trust necessarily a lot of times the information you're hearing, not only from salespeople, your friends, family members, and colleagues as well. You got to find specifically what works for you when it comes to supplements, okay? And pay attention to the way you feel. A lot of people, like myself, I was neglecting it more and more. The more supplements I was on and the more I took, the shittier I felt. So anyways, get a chance, you might want to check me out on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you get a chance, subscribe. And I've been putting up a lot of different videos regarding fitness. I'm going to be putting up one today, actually. It's called My 5 Rules of basically if you're thinking of becoming a trainer, what to look out for. I'm going to wrap it up there. All right, take care and stay healthy.